most of the software have a identification, authentication, authorization. Okay. Now, identification, authentication, we know we need to do input validation, and we can protect using MFA. Right? But now, once all this has been done, you will be given authorization, and you can now transact with the application. Right? You can transact with the application for few more vulnerabilities arise. Okay. One is called the indirect object reference, IDOR. Indirect object reference. What happens? Developers, when they make websites, right? So what happens? They have, they on the code, they write href some other place. This place is supposed to be a secret. You're not supposed to know. The user should not know, but they mention it. Now what happens? The hacker can easily click and go to that space which was not supposed to be revealed. Okay. And this is very common. Indirect object reference is very, very common. And now if I go and change this object, your website will actually change. Okay. So indirect object references should not be there. Generally used for cookies. Okay. You use a cookie and store a cookie for a long time, and then you don't discard a cookie. The hacker comes, steals your cookie, and goes and logs in using your cookie. It does an indirect object. Then you have something called directory traversal. In the code, you write certain directories, okay, and you do not protect these directories using 403 for forbidden reference. That means you give access to the folders which are there on your system. So anybody can go and access those directories. Okay. Anybody, if tries to execute any kind of directory traversal, your web server should stop it. But if you have not put a control properly, anybody can go and access it. And then you have file inclusion. File inclusion means at times developers, they write username password on a text file and put it on the development code, and that gets pushed into production, and you have a file included with all the username and password for admin panel, and hackers can go and access it. Okay. Some common web application vulnerabilities: cross-site scripting. As I told you, you can go and open the developer code, you can see the code, you change the code, you try to push it, you do a post request. If the server accepts it, you will have a cross-site scripting. One of the most simplest attack to execute on any website. Website defacing is done using this particular method. Okay. Then you have something called request forgery. Request forgery, how do you do? You are accessing your SBI bank. Okay. You say, hey, I want to access. It says, okay, who are you? You give your username and password. Okay. Then you send it, and then it sends you an MFA. And you give the MFA. Now a session cookie is generated. Okay. Now the session cookie is supposed to be binded to your IP and binded to the session. Any changes here, you should drop it. But at times it doesn't happen, and the hackers steal the session cookie, try to send a new request by this stolen cookie, and if the server accepts it, it doesn't have control, it can go and steal money from your bank account. Such kind of attacks are called request forgery attacks. And request forgery attacks are carried out using CSRF tokens. Okay. So this token which we saw, wherein the bank issued us a token, and I went and stole this token and presented this token to the server and did a request forgery. To protect from such kind of attacks, you have something called anti-CSRF tokens. Okay. Whenever the token is presented second time, your anti-CSRF token is issued to the user to denigrate the earlier issued tokens. Okay. Should generally be aware, such questions are not, these are slightly more developer-based questions. We should generally be aware. Okay. One of the major ways you protect your application is by input validation. Check your input, have web application firewall in front of your application, and check for any coding errors. Okay. Right. Let's have a question. Sorry. So how do you protect your databases? Databases are protected in the same manner in which applications are checked. Okay. Whenever you are sending a query to database, this query should be checked. Input validation on queries is called parameterization of the query. Okay. What is obfuscation? Obfuscation is whenever you are accessing data and you do not want to show any data, you obfuscate. Say this is SSN number. You obfuscate this data and then store it because you don't want to store it. Okay. So the field is there, but you have obfuscated and stored it. Then there is something called camouflaging. Camouflaging is hiding in plain sight. You camouflage the data in such a manner, you hide the data in such a manner that you cannot actually make out that the data resides. Okay, that is called camouflage. How do you generally protect the code? Okay, so if you are writing software and you want to protect the code you have certain measures. First is called the code sign. So if you wrote a piece of code, you sign it with your digital signature. Okay, and then make it available. Your digital signature is there. Anybody who wants to see that whether this code is authentic or not goes and checks your digital signature. Okay. Code reuse. Whenever you're reusing code, be very, very sure that it is from authentic sources, not from unauthentic sources. Code diversity. If you have diverse people checking your code will be more secure. Okay. That's why Linux as a platform is considered more secure because it's an open source software. A lot of people are contributing to it. The diverse nature of people are, making that software, testing that software. The repositories is a good way of managing your code and software. You should have proper measures in place to check for integrity of code and see that there are no violations and there are no injection attacks which take place. And so you should, what happens in repositories, the moment code is pushed, it generates a hash so that if there are any changes, you come to know that code integrity has been changed. And finally, whenever you're developing applications, they should be able to withstand errors. They should be able to withstand very, very generic attacks. Okay. So therefore, you should have proper and secure coding practices. Whenever you are pushing code into production, okay, you need to omit the code comments. You should not have code comments also going to your production code. Okay. Software should be able to handle errors. So whenever error comes, the software should not crash. Software should go into a error statement that, okay, there is some error which has happened and the software will not do this. Okay. You have seen that many times software crashes say error so and so. That's called error or exception handling. And finally, always check before the code is pushed to the production that there are no credentials which have been hard coded into the software. Okay, this you have to check very, very. Software have habit of exhausting your resources if you have not given them finite resources. If you have not mentioned what is the memory space they are going to use, they will go and eat up all your memory space. Okay, and that's why they will have a resource exhaustion. Okay, they are also pointed dereferencing. What happens whenever you give an application a space to write on a different memory, say memory M1 location to M5 location. Okay, now it doesn't do directly. There is a pointer. There is a pointer sitting in between. You tell that pointer referencer that I need to write from M1 to M5. Now, this, if dereferencing happens and somebody goes and removes the referencing, you will start writing on others' memory. Okay? Such kind of attacks are called pointed dereferencing attacks. Okay. With this, I have finished all your 8 domains, right? And now is the time that you need to book your exam. Those who are confident, I feel, should book the exams. Okay. I'll take it that your first revision is over. Okay. This was concept clearing revision. Now you should go into the second revision. Now this is where you go now deep dive into each topic. Okay. This is the time you go deep dive. You don't understand anything, ask me, chat with me. Now everyone chats with me. My phone is always pinging. Okay. And I don't mind. I'm more than happy to explain concepts and have a discussion. So your second revision should start from next week. Take a break, days break, and now you should get into full throttle preparation. Generally, I recommend 3 revisions. First revision is over. Second revision is where you yourself read, find out what are your weak areas. How do you find out your weak areas? Please attempt. Your next thing should be attempting the 20 questions on the CyBEX 9th edition. Okay. And roughly around 1600 odd questions on my portal. Okay. If you go to my portal, there are almost 1600 questions. Please attempt that. Okay. Please attempt that. Wherever you go wrong, okay, wherever you go wrong, just go and see why are you wrong. Third thing, do not repeat questions. Okay, do not repeat questions. Questions are only to debate your understanding, nothing else. None of those questions will come in your exam. All exam questions will be fundamental, conceptual level questions. Okay. Then the recommended resources are CIBEX 3rd edition, okay, and CIBEX 9th edition. If you are very worried, maybe Boson and LearnSci. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you, these two resources are more than enough. Don't spend money. Do not spend money. I've already given you 1600 odd questions. I've already given you these two books. Please only stick to this much. This is more than enough. What you should be able to do for this in this particular exam is you should be able to debate each and every answer. And the best way of debating is you will have 4 answers, eliminate 2, which are non-obvious answers. Out of 2, apply which is the best answer. Rashmi just passed and she was so scared. I said, don't be scared. Apply your concepts. The concepts are right. You will not go wrong. Okay. And she passed at 125 questions. That's a good effort from her side. Okay. I'm done, guys. You have any issues, any problems? Those who feel that they want to roll over to the next batch, more than welcome. No, I don't have any issues. Okay. So now I will be connecting with you all individually, and if you want to connect with me individually, fine. But please keep the group active. I'm telling you, my previous group is so active. 4 have already passed. The last batch, 4 have already passed within 3 months. Okay, so January their batch had started. So there's March 31st. Already 4 people have passed from their batch. Okay, all the 4 who have booked exam have passed. 2 more, their exams are pending on April 23rd and 25th, I guess. They will also pass, I'm very sure. So you have to keep the group active. This group is very, very effective for you to prepare. And the only way you can pass this exam is by being resilient for next maybe 60 odd days. You'll pass this exam, let me tell you. And the best way to pass this exam is book it today. Go right now and book the exam. And then you will see the fire on your backside to pass this exam, right? Anyone, any questions, please ask. Any feedback about training, anything you would like to tell me, I'm ready to take on.
So in fact, we had flooded the entire January batch group with a lot of questions. So that has actually started thinking us how you have to eliminate and so long debates. So that is actually
but debating is very, very important. I'm telling you,
yes,
I've done nothing. I've just asked you. I said I don't want to hear the answer. I want how do you debate the answer. That is where the main, fun lies. If you're able to debate the answer, you will pass the exam in no time. I can tell you that. Even if you're wrong, doesn't matter. Even if you're wrong, you debate it wrongly, but you justify yourself, and you'll see you'll start understanding the concept. Even if you're wrong, doesn't matter. But please don't try to cram. Please don't try to. This exam has got no requirement of cramming and all those terms, because humanly it is impossible to remember so many things. I've taken I don't know how many donkeys batches. I don't remember things now.
Sir, but one problem that we are facing is, sir, that because we start forgetting the concepts. We have studied ek revision to already ho gaya, sir, but we start forgetting it again. I'm going solving questions, and jahan we feel that okay, you're making mistakes, again referring. It's getting so monotonous.
That's the resilience of CISSP. But why? You know why? Because you feel that you have not understood. When you go to the exam and appear, you will say, "Oh, I did this." So what happens is,
yes, sir.
You forget. You think you forget, but when the moment the CISSP exam brings that concept in front of you, you don't need to forget something which you understand. You never forget. Please understand that. So when the question comes in front of you, so I've read this. I know it should be HTTPS or it should be TLS 1.3 because I've gone through this 3 times. Since you don't need to remember what happens the moment the concept comes in front of you, you know that okay, this is supposed to be TLS 1.3.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that. Have you gone through everything? That is what it is. And are you able to apply that in a situation?
Because the moment once we start answering some hard questions and we get it wrong, Then,
There is
sir,
nothing hard question. Okay, all these people who know, they are all marketing techniques. Please, I
sir.
stay away from it. Hard questions, ये question, वो question.
हाँ जी, sir.
Nobody is ready to spend time to teach you concepts. Okay, if you look at it, I can also launch an e-learning course and all. I don't do that. I understand CISSP all about concepts. Okay.
Agree,
So
sir.
if your concepts are clear, you will pass this exam. You don't appear for any hard question. I'm telling you, Cybex 9th edition and Cybex 3rd edition more than enough. Okay.
In fact, sir, I've solved all the practice questions, sir. All 5 practice questions I've solved and getting around 70 plus I'm getting, sir. So
Now you will not repeat those questions. Okay, Ashwin?
yes, sir. I am not going to repeat those, sir. I'm thinking of giving some Gwen based questions, but they are claiming that it's going to be tough. That's
I
why,
don't
sir.
care. I don't care. I'm telling you, if you
Yes,
can
sir.
debate each and every concept, okay, uh, then you are in. Okay.
Yes,
When
sir.
have you booked the exam?
Sir, yet to book the exam, sir. Most likely
Book
by
it then.
1st of June or first week of June, sir.
Okay, so this time.
Yes, sir.
So hi, Piyush this side. So
Yeah, Piyush.
what would be your advice in terms of timeline to get this like 2-3 times the revision? I
Three.
previously told you. Yeah.
3 revisions is something which I
Mm.
recommend. Okay.
And in terms
Once
of
you.
booking the exam, I'm planning mid of June, considering my office commitments as well. But
Mhm.
mid of June is what I'm aiming for, including at least 3 times the revision. Plus, I have the Learns app as well that I was doing on and off along with this, coaching. But in terms of like sitting at it, I'm still considering mid of June as a realistic timeline. So, is that fine by you, or
Yeah,
would
yeah.
you be suggesting something
June
else?
is fine.
Yeah.
June is fine.
Hmm.
Today, this is what, first April, because it's 31st, April, May, more than enough. See, if you have adequate time in hand, you can devote 2 hours daily and say 4 to 5 hours on the weekends. Okay. And you're
Yeah.
consistent with it and you are able to do
Yeah.
2 more revisions. And then you are able to do Cybex 9th edition, Cybex 3rd edition, and Learns app. And you
Yeah.
can debate the answers with your group mates. You're there. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Everyone is
because
passed.
I'm
And
also
last, yeah.
appearing for the CISM under SARS for the
Oh,
last
yeah,
week
you
of
have taken
April.
CISM also.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So last week of April, I'm planning to, give the CISM, and that way, because it's coming from my background in terms of risk and compliance CISM, I'm still thinking I'll be able to manage last week of April.
CISM is not
Yeah,
difficult.
yeah,
CISM
yeah.
is not difficult. Okay. If you have
But for
done class,
CISSP, I wanted your advice for sure that would June be realistic that
yeah,
way?
June
Yeah.
is realistic. June is realistic. Rashmi cleared it. Devashish cleared. Everyone is clearing it. It's just about how well you
Mhm.
understand the concept and how well you can fight with yourself. Okay, that
Yeah.
you are on the right concept.
Sure, sir.
It's June
I'll
is
I'll be
doable.
seeking your
And
guidance in the
yeah, yeah,
interim. Yeah.
definitely. Everyone should seek my guidance. Everyone should. All those who have been in contact with me, consistently bugged me, have fast. That is my only suggestion. Please bug me so that I can make you fast. That's my only suggestion. Just put me on WhatsApp and I'll take a call, short call, 5 minutes, 10 minutes call. I explain things. That's my habit. Everybody calls. Okay. कि सर ये ऐसे था वैसे था कैसे होना है मैं समझ में नहीं आ रहा I tell it very very clearly that this is how you need to do it.
Sure, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks for this
Anytime.
entire run. Thanks.
Anytime.
Sir, you mentioned that the syllabus is going to change after May or something. So just
April
wanted an
15th. April
elaboration.
15th. Don't worry about the syllabus. Don't worry.
So we just continue with the same prep.
You continue with this. Whatever editions are there, I will match. I'm waiting for the Cybex 10th edition to come. It will come on 15th of April. Okay. Very, very. I have included most of the points which were there in the first, even if I've missed because there's no CBK which has come out till now. So I don't know. Whatever the points were there in the latest, like software bill of materials and other things I've included already. Okay. Few things which might have got missed out unless the Cybex comes out, I will not be able to say. But I've generally covered most of the next batches. What you should do is you take the ISC2's main thing and I will give it to you. From there, we can strike out which are the new things. Okay. I'll give you one slide. I have made a slide. I'll give it to you. And content I will keep giving you. I'll keep giving you content that this is an addition or this is a subtraction. Subtraction is not there, only addition is there, right?
Yes, sir.
CISSP exam doesn't change much. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any other question, guys? Yeah, Sai Teja, you've been silent. When do you book the exam?
I'm planning in June or July.
June. Yeah. June, July would be an optimistic time. Generally, people take 2 months after my classes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. Please be in touch with me, guys. And anybody wants a rollover, it's actually very difficult to do a rollover and attend the next batch. Not required. Just be at it, and wherever you get stuck, please call me. Please message me, and I'm always available, and I will clear out all your issues. Right. Take care then. All the best, and please solve the questions on the portal. They are pretty okay, decent questions. I'll not say they're out of the line, but they're good enough to clear out debate your concepts. Okay. Almost roughly 1,600 questions are there on the portal. You can use it on your app or you can use it on the web-based. Okay. Right. These could be good practice questions as you read along and attempt. Attempting is practicing questions just to getting into the habit of reading the question and attempting it in a short time. That's the requirement. Okay. Okay, guys, take care. Thank you for your time and effort. Okay. Want to see you guys all getting the coveted CISSP. Okay, and be in touch, and any professional advice, anything, I'm more than ready to help you guys. Okay. Thank you so much. Take care and do well. And
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, Manish. Thank you, Aram, Satya, Ashwin.